Hi, everybody. This is Eugene Popa, your host for the Hypnosis Master Summit, and I'm very excited to have with us a good friend of mine, Antony Reed, who has actually been doing a lot of work in the field of using affirmations, hypnosis and NLP affirmation. He specialized in this. He's done this for many, many years. And actually recently, a few years ago, he started a YouTube channel where he's put a lot of his work there. His company is called Spanking Media. Spanking Media. And like I said, he's been doing a lot of work in the field of using affirmations in videos and in audio recordings. And he will tell us all about it in this session. So Antony, thank you so much for being here with us. And I can't wait for you to share the knowledge and skill that you gather over these years on how to actually, grow your business and grow your brand and your awareness by using videos and meditations and affirmations in the internet.
Well, thank you, Eugene. I appreciate your invitation to come on this amazing summit. Most of what I do is recording. I record mostly hypnosis with affirmations on it, as well as NLP. NLP techniques thrown in every now and then.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about, this whole thing with affirmations and hypnosis, but also how are you actually using this, to grow your company, to grow your business, to do everything you're doing? Because I know that's like you have kind of basically based your business on this way of doing it, let's put it this way. So it'll be awesome to learn from you how to do this.
Sure. Yeah, I will definitely tell everybody at pretty much every step of how to do it. I first got into this actually. I used to be in the field of as more of a health coach. That's what I started before hypnosis, and it occurred to me as I'm working with clients that it wasn't always, the main problem that the clients were having wasn't like, having the right food or whatever. It was mindset. It was, past programming. It was all the stuff that, that they're completely unconscious of that keeps on interrupting them and making them stumble. And I was like, okay, so maybe I'm coaching the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So that's when I started getting into, and that's when I learned hypnosis and NLP and started applying that for my clients instead. And that made so much of a difference that I decided to go full board into that and out of just being a health coach.
Right.
So that said, do you want me to just start in for this?
Yeah. Dive in, man. Let's bring it.
All right. I hope you guys are ready to learn a lot, and get out a notepad and a pen, and make sure that you're signed up, because there's a lot of information. You'll probably have to go over it a few times. So
perfect.
All right. So let's do this. All right. So let's get right into it. So yeah, Eugene already went over this. I'm a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and founder of Spanking Media. We've got so many recordings and more to come. I actually had to create another website just to handle everything on this. So there's a lot. How
many recordings did you make so far?
On the YouTube channel, I've got about 250, I believe. Altogether, there's well over 300 so far, and more to come. And they all range, most of what I do is I like to make longer ones for people who are going to sleep, so they can the hypnosis will, rather than at the end, you're used to maybe a 5 count wake up or something, but I like to tell them that they'll go to sleep, and when they wake up in the morning, they'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and feel amazing. And then throughout that time after that, that's when I give them their affirmations. So all through the night, when they go up in their sleep cycle, they'll have these wonderful people telling them how great they are and how wonderful life is going to be and how amazing things are going to be. So it really makes an impact on the subconscious when it comes up into that theta and alpha state. So I'll dive right in here. All right. And can you see this okay?
Yeah, looks good. Yeah.
All right. So today, there's a lot of things to go over. The first thing that we'll be going over is, why would you even make recordings? I mean, you already know how to do this in front of people. So what's the scoop with that? What kind of gear you'll need, what software you might want to purchase. If you're going to be editing this stuff, obviously, you're going to need to know how to do that. Where are you going to get all the scripts? If you're going to do hundreds of these things, scripts for these, if you're planning on selling them, you can't just use the same scripts that you're using. Unless you just make them up on the fly. If you're somebody who you already know this stuff, you're able to do it fine. But a lot of us can't. I personally use scripts all the time, and I have many ways of doing that. And then recording them. There's specific ways that's best for recording them in the first place. Also finding the background music and sounds. If you're going to be doing this where the public can see it, you're going to need to have stuff that that you're not going to get copyright issues from. And then putting it all together. So how do you edit it? What are some good ways to do that? Some tips and tricks and what have you. So that's what we're going to be going over today.
Perfect.
So let's dive in. Nope, wrong way. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, why would you make recorded hypnosis sessions anyway? I mean, there are some pros and there's some cons, obviously. Cons being, well, and a lot of the things when people first say that, they said, well, how can it really be? How can it really do a good job if you're, if it's a recording and it's not someone who can see when you're breathing, when to, when to say what to you, how do they know what state you're in? Well, you can't do that on a recording, but you can reach so many people at, doing it one time that it's just amazing. The reach that you have is incredible. You can't do that with one-on-one clients. You can certainly do that with a room full of people. You can do a group hypnosis, and basically that's pretty much the same as when you record it and people can listen on their own time. The benefit to that, and this is part of the part that makes it effective. I mean, we all know that group hypnosis works. But they don't have to be in the room. So we know it's effective. We've got data on the effects of hypnosis. But when it comes to, a recording, the people can be in an even easier place to get them under. When they're, if they're laying down in their own bed where they feel the most comfortable, it's going to be easier than, for somebody like me being in a room full of people trying to be hypnotized. That's not indicative to my way of being able to go into trance. So way too many distractions for me. So this is a great way to reach people. You can certainly make recordings and hand it to clients, so they can do this at home after their initial session. If you want to back up the suggestions that you gave them, maybe they're trying to quit smoking, quit drinking, lose some weight, what have you. And then, there are different ways that you can do this. Do you want to do it in an audio format, or do you want to do it as videos? I mean, I personally do a lot as videos. I also do the same ones as audio. So, obviously being YouTube, it's a video format. Now, most people don't use it as a video format. They don't watch the video while they're going under, but they'll click on one if it has nice stuff to watch, even though they're going to close their eyes. So that's one of the other reasons why I do it. Is it's marketing. They want to see a video, even if they're going to close their eyes. So there's that. So that said, you're definitely going to need certain equipment to get this done if you don't already have it. If I would suggest, if you're going to be doing this stuff, you want to do it on a desktop computer if you can. You can certainly do, especially if you're going to do video. If you're going to do video, there's a lot of, now laptops are starting to come out that are capable of doing some really good video editing, but you're going to have to buy a really decent laptop for that. Otherwise, if you're just doing audio, you can get away with a desktop or a laptop computer.
Yeah.
The editing isn't so bad with just audio. So obviously the faster the better when it comes to that. Moving on, we're going to go up to headphones or earbuds or earbuds, because, oh, where's this here? Sorry, I just want to get that down there. All right, so when it comes to headphones and earbuds, you want to make sure you've got something that that really covers your ear. You don't want to use basically, you don't want to use the speakers that are coming out of your laptop. If you're going to be, the reason is, if you're trying to, if you're recording your voice and you're trying to edit it, you need to hear every little detail in what you're recording, so that you can clean up that audio. Because if you're just hearing it from your speakers, you're not going to hear the little ticks and pops and whatever that happens in the background. Maybe a little ruffling on your microphone.
Yeah.
These things aren't going to come out very well. But on the other end, when you're done and people are putting on their headphones to listen to this, they're going to hear every bit of that, and especially if they're in trance. So if they're in trance, as you know, hypersensitive, you can hear more than you usually can. You can, everything is heightened. So, and that goes for audio as well. So you need to really hone in on trying to make this as distraction free as possible.
Yeah.
And wearing headphones while you're editing certainly helps that. So I would get, a decent pair of headphones that has really good sound to it, so you can get the depths and you can get the highs and the lows and everything in between, so you know what's going on.
Got it.
And so moving on to the microphone. The microphone is one of your most amazing tools that you're going to get with this. And you need to make sure that you've got a decent microphone. I mean, if stereo headphones and such are important, this is the most important thing if you're going to be recording. So, and actually, I've got right here, you can see this one that I've got on the photo here. The blue Yeti,
right?
is a great one. I'm actually using it right now. I also use this because it doesn't have to be amazingly perfect, like something that you're recording a TV commercial on. However, it needs to be good, and on a budget and good, this is what you're going to find. This is a really good one. If you want to go higher than that, if you want like the best possible, fine. Personally, this is about as far as I'll go, and as far as my wife will let me purchase. So that's why I get the blue Yeti.
I got this one, which is kind of like the top of the line kind of a thing.
Right.
And it doesn't come in cheap. It's the Shure SM7C or something like that.
Yeah, they can get spendy. This stuff can get spendy, but I've found, and I actually picked up this tip. I picked up this tip a few years ago from now I don't remember. Anyway, but obviously you don't have to get the Yeti from Blue. They do make amazing products, and this one does really well. And the part of the thing is that one of the settings on the back, and I don't know if you guys can see this at all. I'm actually going to bring it back to here for a moment. So here it is. As you can see on the back, we've got, on the back, we've got these different settings here. And you want to make sure that you've got that on the carotenoid setting. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. It's a one it looks like a heart shape, and that one will make it so that whatever comes to the front is picked up, but not everything around. So it won't pick up all the sounds of everything around in your room. It'll more concentrate on you, almost more like a shotgun.
Nice.
Not completely like a shotgun, but
yeah.
So
you can use this one for recordings, but you can also use this one for like online sessions, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can use this for pretty much anything you want. You could even use this if you decide to go into podcasting. It has another one in the back that allows it to go two-way. So like if you have this in the middle of a table, somebody on the other side and yourself, or just open it up so it'll pick up anything. It's got multiple settings on there specifically for that.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, shop around a little bit, maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos on some different new microphones, because I don't know all the new stuff that's out now. But this has been a tried and true one for years now that has incredibly good sound and a decent price, and you can pick it up pretty much anywhere.
Cool. Awesome.
And next, if you're going to be, recording a lot of stuff and you want to save that, you want to save your recordings and you want to save your finished products, and you want to have a good place. You don't want to keep them all on the one, directly on your computer. If something happens to your computer, then that's your business. If you're doing this, you need to have multiple backups. And I seriously suggest going out and getting at least one, if not more, backup hard drives that you can plug right into your USB, put everything on that, make copies to it, put it somewhere safe, maybe even put it in a safe. I'm totally serious.
I would even add to this with my own experience, because I actually have right here, I have this hard drive. This is a 14 terabyte hard drive.
Right.
And this one is a brand new hard drive, because I had recordings for this event, which were on a similar hard drive like this, and I dropped it. And so when I dropped it, I lost all the data. I sent it to Holland to try to recover it. They sent me a different hard drive back. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to get a hard drive, but I'm also going to get on a cloud solution. So I'm actually saving everything online, not just physically in my computer.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't have a slide for that, but I also have, Dropbox, and I've got it all in there, and I've got it loaded up on my website server. And it's like multiple places, I mean, and just for that, just for the same reason. Now, I used to be in the IT field, and one of the biggest things for us was, always have backups and have backups of your backups. So yeah, I mean, definitely you learn the hard way, unfortunately, right?
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, and it gives you such amazing peace of mind when you know that, okay, I've got my stuff. If something happens to this, I can just get the other copies and back that up, and we're good to go again. So so definitely get yourself some backup, some means of getting backups. This keeps on, speaking of backing up, it keeps backing up on me here. All right. Okay. And so the software, I mean, we talked about hardware. What kind of software do you need for this? And there's a few different software versions that are software options that I use specifically, one for video and one for audio. Now, I'm not an expert on all the different software options for audio out there. I know that there's some built right into Windows and built right into Macs. But I prefer to kind of go out and get, like, this is This one is, oh, I keep on messing that up. This one is Audacity.
Yeah.
And this is what I've been using. It's pretty much, it's a free software, but it's professional quality. So
Yeah.
you can pretty much do anything with Audacity as far when it comes to audio. There's a hefty learning curve sometimes depending on what you're doing. So if you're just doing something where you're just bringing in, you know, your audio clips that you did and then cutting out some spots, that's pretty easy. But you may want to watch some YouTube videos on how to do specific things with it, and how to use that. You might want to take a Udemy course, whatever you want to do, to do that specifically, because there is a lot to this. But you know, if you're going to be recording audios and you want to have a good sound for your clients, or you know, if you want to, if your business that you're wanting to do is creating hypnosis recordings that you can sell via MP3 or what have you, you're going to want to make some decent stuff. I mean, they're buying this from you. You want to make sure that your stuff is valuable, and not like, you know, cheap and on a little Sony Walkman or something, and whatever it may be. So this is very good software. It is compatible with both Windows and Mac and Linux. If you're, you know, a nerd like me, and every now and then you like to jump on Linux with a different computer and do stuff on that because you just like it being open source, then that's fine. It is open source software itself, so there's always people, you know, updating it and working on it to make it the best that it can be.
Nice. And
now getting on to audio and video. If you want to do some video, there's plenty of different options that you can do depending on the computer that you're using. Personally, I like to use Premiere Pro from Adobe. It does everything that I need with it, probably way more than I'll ever need to do. Premiere Pro is like a very hefty package that does way more than I need to do, but it certainly does what my wife needs it to do for her videos, and so forth. So, but you know, otherwise, you know, there's Apple iMovie if you have a Mac, and you know, Shotcut's a free one that you can use. I don't know if that works for Mac. I actually buy the Adobe package, so it's got Photoshop, it's got Premiere, it's got, you know, the whole shebang, and I think it's like $25 a month or something. I'm not exactly sure. My wife pays that bill. However, if you're like, look, you know, I'm on a budget, I'm just starting out here, I'm trying to get something, you know, try something like Shotcut. Try, if you have a Mac, try iMovie because it's already built in. If Shotcut isn't working for you, I know that I think Windows 10 now has a kind of a built-in one that they can do. I don't know a lot about that, so you'd have to look that up. But you definitely want to get some decent software. Awesome. And now we're moving on to scripts. There are many ways that you can get scripts. Obviously, you can write your own scripts. That's a no-brainer. However, like me, I hate writing. Why reinvent the wheel? I don't, you know, I like using scripts because I like to be precise in everything that I'm saying when I'm recording. I like to make sure that I don't have to think about the next thing to do, or did I forget something? So I make scripts for introduction to my videos. I make scripts for the inductions on my videos. I make scripts for deepeners in my videos, and the therapeutic portions, the session, you know, what you're trying to get across here. As well as the endings. You know, am I going to put them to sleep after this, or am I going to wake them up? You know, I've got both of them, so I have scripts for each. And you only, here's the great thing, besides when it comes to these, besides the therapeutic portions of your scripts, the therapeutic scripts that you do, besides those, all the other ones, the inductions, the endings, the deepeners, your introduction, you can do all of those and record it one time.
Yeah.
You can record each of those one time, and then you just put them in, and then put your, put your therapeutic portion right in the middle. So it's not something that you have to record everything every time. It saves so much.
Basically, what you are saying is that when you are creating recordings, it's just the middle part which is different, but the intro and the outro, it's always the same.
Exactly. Well, not, I mean, I wouldn't say always. I like to create like a couple of different introductions depending on what kind of session they're going to watch. A few different inductions. I have maybe about 3 or 4 major inductions that I use, and about 2 or 3 deepeners that I use. So I kind of mix and match.
So you have like templates of inductions and deepeners, and then the content basically. Yeah,
just like you said, like a it's kind of a template. So you just, so then you can just, you just keep those, and then you just kind of throw them into the editing software, where they go, and then you're good to go.
Perfect.
Now back onto scripts and where to get them. Obviously, you can write them a bunch of different ways that I like to do it. I like to I hire script writers. Sometimes I'll go on I don't know, one of those places where you can pay $5 and get people to do stuff for you if you want. There's plenty of people on there who have a hypnosis background and are decent writers and can write you a decent script for what you want. Once I get mine back, I like to go through my scripts from them and then make them my own. I don't like to create something from scratch, but I like to put my own words and my own character into that script and do what I can to.
So you personalize the script by you.
Exactly. I personalize it. I make sure that certain concepts, like, are they putting things in a negative connotation? Do I want to flip that and make it more of, like, you're a non-smoker, not, you stop smoking,
Yeah.
But I will do whatever I have to do on that to make it my own. I also purchase scripts. I don't purchase them from just anywhere. Actually, there's very, very few places. And if you do a search online on the Googles for royalty-free scripts, because that's what you're going to need if you're going to do this.
Yeah.
If you're going to do this on YouTube, or you're going to sell these, you're going to need something that's royalty-free. So you're not. Most of them will let you do it for clients if, like, you're just making a CD or something to give to clients. But if you're selling it, or if you're putting it out there in the public, you don't have the right to do that on most scripts that you'll find out there. There are very, very few places that you can actually find. Actually, only one right now that I've found, and that's on the American School of Hypnosis site.
Okay.
They do it there. So you can just go to American School of Hypnosis or choosehypnosis.com, I believe. And Rainey and Raluca, his wife, they have a school. They create all their scripts, and they actually sell them in big, nice books of royalty-free scripts. And that's the only place I've ever been able to find that. So sorry, I didn't mean to plug anybody. That's like,
no, not a problem.
That's all
it's
you're going
good.
to come up
It's
with.
valuable information that I'm writing it down right now, because people, look for this stuff.
Yeah. It's, so that's a huge deal. That's been able to really help a lot. And, so you just need royalty free when it comes to that. And, if you're able to write your own, amazing. I tip my hat to you, because I just don't have the patience, and I just hate writing. So those are like all the places that I can think of for doing that. And now, if anybody wants to, I would suggest that you kind of like stand up a little bit and maybe, just run around a little, maybe spin, because we're about halfway through. And I want to keep you awake, because awake people remember things and sleepy people do not.
All right.
All right. So pause if you have to. I'm going to go on to the next one here.
All right. Perfect. Nice one.
All right. So what makes good audio? So these are, this is what you want to watch out for and what you want to do when you're recording the sessions. Recording the sessions, I mean, we're down to the meat now. So silence, you want to definitely make sure that where you're recording is a silent area. You don't have, kids or dogs barking in the back. It's not like, something that, your microphone, even if you're not paying attention to it, your microphone is always paying attention, and it's going to find and record all of that in the background. And good luck if you're trying to cut out like pops and snaps in the background, and all of a sudden while you're editing your voice, you hear an airplane going over your voice. You can't get that out. So maybe you want to do this early in the morning sometime before people start mowing their lawns and what have you.
Or late at night.
Or late at night, yeah. And we'll get to the time of day thing here next. I usually like to record during the mornings if I'm going to do it, for the simple fact that in the morning, your voice is rested all day. And when your voice, you know how when you wake up in the morning, your voice is a little bit deeper. It's more sultry. It's got the tones to it. People sound like AM radio DJs or something in the morning. But if you're going to do it at some time of the day, make sure that whatever you record at the same time of the day. And the reason is, just like I said, your voice does change. At night, your voice is different than it is during the day. So if you're recording your intros and all that stuff during the day, but then you decide, well, I don't have a lot of time, I'm going to do this induction at night, it's going to sound different than the rest of what you're recording. So when you go to put that together, it's not going to be consistent, and people can pick up on that when they're listening, and it's going to kind of be curious or jarring. Some that you may wake somebody up from that.
Especially when you're using templates, like induction, deepening, and then the content, that's a template.
Exactly. So then when and then it goes right from that to the next part, and that, you record it at a different time of day. You can hear that. You can hear the difference. So again, I mean, keep your voice consistent. If you're, you want to make sure that you're not being louder one day and then you're recording the next day and you're saying it, you're recording in a softer voice. You want to make sure that you're trying to keep those levels consistent for the same reason as that. It's just for volume's sake, for volume and, and the force that you're putting into it. So you want to keep your voice consistent. If you're trying to do a lot, I would suggest that you don't record one thing at a time. You get a lot ready and then you batch record right here. Oop, not right there, right around here. So batch recording, just like and I know that you're familiar with this, Eugene. When you batch record, you save yourself a lot of time in your business.
Oh yeah.
If you can get multiple things out of the way, you can still drip them out there as much as you want. But if you can record 10 videos in a day or 10 audio sessions in a day, and then then you can edit them all later, but you're in the recording part now. So you may as well record as many different scripts and such as possible, especially because right now you have the same voice. You know, they would all be consistent. You know, you're in the same mood, you're in the same time of day, you're, you know, in the same whatever. You drank your coffee before, and the last time you didn't. You know, speaking of which, I needed that a little bit. So that also adds to consistency. If you can batch record everything at one shot, you can take care of that and not have to worry so much about that consistency. So pops, you want to probably get a pop filter. And that is, if you're, I know you're familiar with that. So if you have like something here that can keep it so that if you're going like, you know, Peter and Paul played Penelope's
ping pong.
Something, yeah. Ping pong.
Like for instance here, this is not the microphone. This is actually the outer mesh, and the microphone is behind it, which also has another mesh. The microphone has a mesh, and then on top of that, I put my own. So it's not gonna pop.
Yeah, exactly. And those pops will come through and you'll have to take them out, and you can't take out pops. So, you know, they call that
no pops or moms are taken out.
Yeah, they call that a plosion. I think it's a plosion.
Yeah.
Plosives.
Okay.
So plosives are not something that you can take out easy. So you want to make sure that, like, I'll do it with my face kind of away from the microphone, have the microphone going toward my face, but I'm not at it. That'll keep those off. It'll also help with breaths. So, you know, if you're breathing a lot, you have to be careful that you're not picking, you know, the microphone isn't picking that up. So
guys, don't breathe.
I'll actually, what's that?
I said, guys, don't breathe.
Stop breathing. No, rather than stop breathing, I do have a couple of, like I tend to get really nasally. So my nose doesn't comes together a lot. So I'll get nose strips before I record, and it brings, you know, it opens that up and it makes it so that my voice sounds a lot better when I'm recording. So that's just a little.
So many tricks to, you know, to make it sound good. And
I've been doing this a while now. So
yeah, exactly. I was going to say, you know, it's so great because many people, many practitioners, you know, people who have probably been doing this for so long, they wanted to get into it and they never knew all of this stuff. And now it's like, hey, you know, take care of that, take care of that, take care of that. So you have a whole list of things, you know. So that's very that's great.
Yeah. It's, you know, I mean, you'll pick up your own tips as well, I'm sure, as you go along. I've had a lot of stumbles before. Yeah. Actually, a lot of the older stuff that I recorded, you know, my volume levels were off. I had ticks and pops in the background. You know, I mean, you're gonna find this stuff out, and this is a long game, not a short game. So yeah, you know, and just because you put something out there, it doesn't mean, well, I already put this, you know, this session out there on smoking or whatever. So what do I do now? Now, let's say on YouTube, you know, now this one's got 10,000 views. I get a lot of people that say, you know, the music was too loud, or I kept on hearing pops and it was waking me up or something. And you're like, well, now what do I do? It's got 10,000 views. I can't change it. No, you can make a new version. You know, you can make a new version. You can refine it. You can put a new one out there, you know, and, you know, hey, you know, that's life. You learn. So, and then when you go to record, or when you go to save them, you want to save it as a .wav file if you're on Windows. I don't know what that is in on a Mac.
It's the same. It's
the same.
WAV files are universal.
Okay, good to know. So yeah, and the reason why is that a WAV file, while it's a large file, it is the most the most dense version of what you have. It's the most what's the word I'm looking for? It's the best. There you go.
Yeah.
It's the
All
best
right,
you
that's
can
it.
get.
The most uncompressed version.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. The most uncompressed and the most pure
Yeah,
version
pure.
that
That's
you
the
can
word
have.
right there.
And that you want to save it as that. When you go to bring it into your editing software, that's when you're going to change it into an MP3 or something like that. But you will use the WAV files. The software will make it into an MP3 for you. But yeah, just keep that in mind for the best quality is to use your WAV files, and then you can turn it into an MP3 or what have you. MP3 for audio, MP4 if you're doing video.
Okay. All right. Say that again, please. So MP3 for audio and MP4 for video. Yes.
Yes, an .mp3 is an audio file, and a .mp4, and there's other kinds as well, are video files.
Yeah. Awesome.
Now it's going to be a little bit different if you're creating the videos. It won't ask you, do you want to make an MP4? So I mean, if you're going to be doing that, this isn't, I'm not going over a class on right now on using Adobe Premiere Pro or something. So you'll need to do some research on your own to figure out how to use that software. But yes. So moving on. So background music and sounds, just like scripts, you want to make sure that you've got something that is royalty free, that you can use without any issues, that you have the rights to use in your videos if you're going to use your videos, or also in your music and sounds. Yes, not videos. This also goes for video clips as well. If you're making videos and you want to have clips in the background or something, maybe like some space stuff going by and such. But for this background music and such, you do need to make sure that they're copyright free or Creative Commons, or that they're royalty free.
So how do you make sure of that?
You need to go, if you go on different sites, there's sound. I actually get most of my stuff a few different places. I don't actually have it right off the top of my head on the places that I go.
Actually, you know what? I think that actually even YouTube itself has like an audio library where you can get sounds from. You can download.
Yes, YouTube definitely
sounds
does. YouTube,
and background music
the
from YouTube
music library. You can get stuff there. You have to be careful. A lot of the stuff that that YouTube has, there may be a few of them that work for hypnosis videos. Most of it does not. And the reason for that is because, I mean, you don't want a song in the background with guitar playing or a piano going. Those noises aren't really inducive to trance. So something that doesn't have a lot of highs and doesn't have a lot of lows, doesn't have like little crescendos that might happen. I've accidentally done that a few times and people didn't like that very much. It's got to be kind of like ethereal, let's say. So you want to make sure you can find something like that, and also be aware that even on the YouTube library, which all their stuff can be used for free, there are a few of those, and you have to check on each one of them. Some of them make it so that you need to put an attribution in there. So whatever, if you're recording something, you need to say this music is by so and so, and here's where you can find them, that kind of a thing. And that's with any music anywhere that you find. you're gonna they'll either say they'll tell you the license stuff. When you find this stuff, there's usually a link to see what kind of license it is. And there's lots of different licensing levels. Some of them only let you do, recordings if it's not going to be public. Some of them let you do stuff that you can sell, but you have to attribute them to it, or you don't. Some of them you just pay a certain amount, and then you don't have to do any attribution at all, and you can sell as many copies as you want. But it's all going to be different no matter where you go.
Yeah.
And let's make sure I went over this. I wasn't looking at my card here, so I don't know where we're at. So you want to make
We're
sure
talking about sound and attribution.
Stuff. What's that?
We're talking about sound and attribution.
Yeah, sounds and attribution. So you want to make sure that the sound not only being the right type of sound, that it's a decent quality. You're going to find some that you find that it might have a hissing in the background because it's not a great quality. You don't want to deal with that. That's going to really mess up. You did so much to make sure that your voice was decent when you were recording it. You don't want to screw that all up by sticking in the background some really bad music.
Yeah.
So just, listen to it on your headphones before you purchase or before you download it, to make sure that it's nice and clean. If it seems good to you, go for it, try it out. And yes, the same thing with videos. You want to make sure the same rules apply for video if you're making videos and you want to have clips in the background. Same thing. You don't want to have, you don't want to have flashy ones either. And I also suggest, and I've seen this many times from a lot of other people, is if you're going to be doing stuff for people while they're sleeping, you may want to have a background that actually goes black after a while. So while they go to sleep, then it's not brightening up the whole room. Or have amber tones and not blue tones. These people are trying to sleep, and the last thing they need is blue light at this point. So that's something. Sorry, that's my biohacker coming out on me. So, so yes, I add biohacking stuff into my videos here.
All right.
All right, and moving on. So let's put it all together here. So when you were going to edit, this cut off all my stuff, the bottoms and the tops. Whatever. Anyway,
we will fix it in the PowerPoint. We'll fix it and we'll make it available for everybody who's got the premium pass. They will get this and they can download it from their membership area for sure.
Right on. Okay, so let's get this all together. So, so when you're going to edit your videos or your audios, you want to make sure that you're not just recording it, but then there are ways also in Audacity to go back in and you can sample a portion. They allow you to sample a portion of when you're not speaking, of just the background noise as it is. And then it will so you can select a spot between where you're speaking and then ask it to do noise reduction, and it will take the sample of that and kind of remove anything that sounds like that out of the entire recording, so that you will have a nice recording that has no sound when you're not speaking. That's a big deal. You can also eliminate some pops and stuff. Those are harder to do, especially if it pops over or like while you're speaking, or if there's a tap or kind of some funky noise going on. You want to really be careful of that at recording, so you don't have to deal with that in post. And then so inductions, deepeners, therapy subjects, endings, etc. Yes, so I think I went over this already. a little bit. So you want to make sure
Yes.
that, yeah, so you want to record these things differently so that you can put them together later on. Where
Do you use like subliminal sounds, binary sounds, subliminal messages and stuff like that over your recording?
Yeah, I mean, you can actually use binaural beats if you want. That's, you can actually bring it, bring that noise level down from that if you want. And on a track, you can have multiple layered tracks. So, you can layer your voice on it and then have your background music. Maybe underneath it, you'll have wave sounds, or, raindrops. And you can in Audacity even, and I haven't done this in forever, so I'm not going to talk about how you can do it. You can certainly look that up. You can create your own binaural beats in Audacity. And then you can put those files underneath and then just turn the volume down a certain amount if you want, so that it's kind of in the background. You can also bring up, you can have your background music be the main thing and bring your voice way down so you can, there are rules to how you can do that now. There's a lot of what's legal and what isn't when it comes to subliminal. But you have to make it so that you can still faintly hear that you're saying something, to call it subliminal, so that it's not like, well, you're just saying it's subliminal and this stuff isn't really there.
Exactly.
It needs to be something, but you still don't want it to be understandable by your conscious mind. So so you bring that down. There's plenty of places you can go online and find out, how to specifically create a subliminal recording. And there's a lot of it online for you. I wish it would have kept this, but it didn't. So that's like the main thing that I've got here for you.
Awesome.
I hope.
I like, that thing with the do's and don'ts and the the different details about the audio. I think that is gold. That is super gold for people who are, kind of like wanting to get into this. And like I said, they did not know how to do it. Now, let me ask you, for somebody who is kind of like technically challenged, let's put it that way, technologically challenged, right? Now, there are people out there who says, I'm good at helping people, but I got nothing to do with computers, nor do I want to have anything to do with computers. What would you suggest them? Because you spoke about software, you spoke about editing and stuff like that. And people is like, where do I click to turn on the computer? How do we help these kind of people?
I mean, you could probably, depending on, that's a little bit more difficult, because I mean, pretty much everything today is going to be, dealt with through a computer of some kind. You can hire somebody else who can help you get through all that. You can hire an editor to do the editing for you if you like. There's plenty of people on, on the different sites that you can hire somebody on. But you probably need to know some of it. I would suggest maybe creating a circle of excellence, and because you're probably holding yourself back from something that isn't as hard as you're making it out to be. And when it comes to smaller things, turning on the computer, you could do that. You can do it. You just don't know how. So you just need to get that information. But a lot of, like personally, because I've been in IT for 15 years before getting into health and then getting into hypnosis. But I got myself a, crappy old computer and messed around with it and broke it a number of times, and then figured out how to fix it myself by just
Yeah.
messing with it. It's like, forget it. I know I'm planning on breaking it. So plan on do something so that you can get it. But I'm not telling somebody to go and break their computer.
Yeah, of course. You know what? I realized, uh, you know, I also was struggling. I have some older videos of mine, which I actually recorded with the microphone from the laptop, and they sound so bad, so awful, and
Right.
so I did a lot of research on how to improve the sound. And you know what I found? I think probably the best microphone by a long shot, besides this one, which is
Okay.
like, super professional microphone, the best microphone by far, it's the iPhone microphone.
Oh, right.
Man, I mean, the voice on this one. So when I record, actually, I turn on the voice recorder on my phone. And just like you said yourself, I'm not actually holding it here. I'm holding it right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
right under my mouth, like by my chin. And then I just speak and I just keep it like this, or actually a bit lower, right? Because when you speak, the sound and the air goes down this way. So I actually
Right.
was just holding it like this and talking, and I was just like blah, 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 doing the recording. And the sound quality was just, mwah, it's always perfect.
Right
And
on.
if you have a sock, you can just put a sock on it to cut out the pa, right? You put a
Sure.
sock on it, and then you just talk, and that's it. It's like the best microphone, and it's right there in your pocket. And
Yeah.
I've done a lot of recordings like that, and they sounded perfect. And it was like, wow,
Well, I know when I first started to do it, and that's a great. I don't have an iPhone, so I never found that
Well,
one out.
yeah,
But
I'm not advocating the brand necessarily. I'm just saying that these guys, they
sure.
got a pretty good microphone on their phones.
Yeah, and for those people who is like, it's loud wherever I am. I know people who have gone into their closets with, because in a closet, you've got all the clothes in the closet, and that's a noise dampener. So you have your own
Yes.
recording studio, even if it's a
Yeah.
really small closet. It might suck, and it probably will.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as recording there, but you're
Especially in the
probably going to
summer.
have decent enough audio out of going
Yeah.
into your
Yeah.
closet.
Yeah. I have a friend who is doing voiceovers for audiobooks. And she's a professional, voiceover for audiobooks and stuff. And I was talking to her, and she said, okay, I know I'm busy now. I got to put a blanket over my head. Like, what? It's like, dude, I'm recording
Yeah.
voice for the audiobook. So bye-bye. And then, so she's having like a blanket or like a duvet, like a bed cover. And she goes down, and she's like, she has a chair in front of her and the bed behind. She sits between the two, and the blanket comes over all around. Perfect noise dampener, and
Yeah.
no expensive foam like I have the one behind me. Nothing like that. It's just blanket, and that's it.
Yeah. Sometimes the best workarounds are the cheap ones. So
Yeah. Awesome. Anthony, thank you so much for your time and for all the beautiful information you share with us. Please tell us, where can people get in touch with you? How can they listen to your recordings? How can they learn more from you if they need help with their audio recordings?
definitely. If you wanna check out my work on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/C, the letter C, /brain spanking U, like the letter U.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to find my work there. And if you I'm actually just now setting up a membership website at antonyreed.com. Currently, it's just gathering email addresses and contact information for anybody who wants to be aware as soon as it comes online. So you can go besides that, that's my main stuff. I don't have a whole lot going on in the social media realm. I'm kind of dropping out of a lot of other places, and how times are today.
Yeah, got it. All right. So, Anthony, again, thank you so much. It's been always a pleasure to connect with you and communicate with you and chat with you and learn from you, because I learned a lot today from your presentation. And I hope that everybody did. So again, Anthony, thank you so much.
Thank you, Eugene. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah. So everybody, we'll take a quick break. Make sure you have your notes and share them with us in the Facebook group. Take a quick break, and then we'll see you tomorrow, or see you in the next presentation, or we'll see you in the next day. So thank you so much. I'll see you soon.